Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and today I am bringing you something I am so very excited about. So if you like this makeup look, it is simply for one reason and one reason only, is because I'm obsessed with Euphoria. I looked on YouTube and Bookish Spencer has already done this tag, but I decided to kind of take the idea of the characters and assigning them questions and assign my own questions. So I guess this could be taken as the like second version of this tag. I will leave link down below Bookish Spencer's video in case you want to watch that and answer their questions instead of mine. That's totally okay, or you could answer both. I mean, there is no rules, but I wanted to add my own questions in to this tag and make it my own. So today I'm going to be doing the Euphoria book tag and I'm so excited. So the first character slash question is going to be, of course, Rue Bennett, because Rue is the star of this show. Also, Zendaya is like queen. We love her. And Rue is a struggling drug addict and we follow her trying to find sobriety, but not necessarily. I feel like it's a very tug of war of whether sobriety is going to happen or not. And essentially this character is the main character that the show revolves around, even though all of the supporting cast could be a main character in and of themselves. And I assigned the question, a book that gut punched you, because I feel like Rue is a character that you root for and you want to see succeed and you love, but also at the same time, like, I totally empathize with Rue and I understand the struggle she speaks of and like anxiety and all the deep emotions that she feels. But at the same time, because you root and love Rue, when she does something insanely stupid, it feels like you're the one getting gut punched because you just want to shake her and hug her all in the same breath. So the book I have for this is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Now, I haven't read this book in quite a long time. I do own it, but it is somewhere on the bottom of my shelf, so now I'm not getting it, okay? I have all this makeup on. Like, I don't want to, like, start sweating because then it'll ruin the aesthetic, bitch. Anyways, I feel like I'm going to be really spicy in this video just because it's a Euphoria video. It's like that, people on TikTok, if you have not watched it, it's like your attitude before Euphoria and your attitude after Euphoria, and it is so fucking accurate. Like, maybe not to the dramatic extent that they do for TikTok, but it is very, very on point, and I feel like I'm gonna be extra spicy today. So yeah, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This is also a movie that you have probably seen starring Emma Watson, and I totally loved the film, but the book, when I read it, really, like, it really is hard hitting. In the book The Perks of Being a Wallflower, we follow Charlie, and it is written through a series of letters. You don't know where Charlie is, who he's writing to. All you know is the world that he creates as the letters come through. He is finding himself, finding new friends, finding the meaning to life, kind of coming into his own, but also at the same time running from his past. So at the very end of this book, you do get a revelation as to why Charlie is the way Charlie is, and it really is a gut punch. It really is one where you just completely want to hug, shake the character, and just, I feel like this book gave me the same kind of feelings I get when I watch Rue. Sometimes we don't know where Rue is, what she's doing, who she's talking to, but we do know what she's going through, and I feel like I really get that with Charlie in this book, and that's why I ended up picking this book for this question. And then the next character I have here is Maddie Perez, and I love Maddie. I feel like the second season really cemented my love for Maddie because I just love how uniquely herself she is, and because of that I decided the question would be pick an unapologetic character, because Maddie is exactly who you think she is. Like, you wouldn't be her best friend. You'd be her bully victim. Like, she would be the queen bee that walks past you and doesn't acknowledge you or say something pretty mean to you. She is the quintessential mean girl in a sense. But because of this show, you get the inside workings of the struggles she has in her relationship at home, about who she is. And I feel like even though Maddie wouldn't be your best friend, she would be a friend that you'd be lucky to have. So, like, I just love Maddie. And for this, I decided to go with Nesta from A Court of Silver Flames. I totally see Maddie and Nesta being friends because they're both very unapologetic and very true to who they are as a person. Nesta in this book goes through a lot of grief and a lot of pain and hides it quite well, and to the outside world she's tough as nails and like won't back down from anything. And that is how I feel when I watch Maddie, is that even though she's going through a lot on the inside, she's so strong and brave on the outside that you start questioning if she is struggling if you don't know her. And in one episode she does say, fake your confidence, because no one's gonna know if it's real or fake confidence. Even if you know it's fake, no one else in the room's gonna know it's fake. And I just felt like that gave me so much insight to Maddie as a character. And I definitely see Maddie and Nesta sitting around bitching about other people as they have a drink and like just being themselves, like not backing down, not taking shit. Like, these two characters in a novel would be hellish, but it would be so much fun to read. The next character I have here is Jules Vaughn, and do you know what? Season 1 Jules I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed season 1 Jules, even if she was a little naive. But season 2 Jules, still naive, but I feel like I didn't like a lot of the decisions that she made. So my like for the character has went down a little, but I also just think that that's because my like for other characters really started to shine in the second season, and I started finding who I liked more. And there's certain things that Jules does that I don't agree with. But for Jules, I decided to go with the question, name a character who is still finding themselves. And for this, I've decided to go with If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. This also follows a trans main character, which is great because Jules herself is trans, and that storyline of Jules is just amazing, and I love to see it portrayed on screen. And for this, I decided to go with this book, not only because the main character is trans, also because in this story, Amanda goes through a lot of struggles and tries to find who she is as a person without having being trans define exactly who she is. And I just love the way that Meredith Russo writes her characters. And also, Amanda, in a sense, doesn't want anyone to know that she is trans, so that does have a big part to play in this book. And even though everyone knows Jules is trans, I still feel like Jules struggles with her sexual identity, and like you really get deep thoughts and feelings from Jules. And I get the same thing from Amanda in If I Was Your Girl. They both have very intense emotions, very intense feelings, and as they try to find themselves, they figure out things that maybe weren't there to begin with. So I feel like their character development of these two characters kind of equates each other. They're both in the stage of becoming exactly who they need to be when they need to be that person. So yeah, If I Was Your Girl for Jules. Then we have Cassie Howard, and again, I really enjoyed Cassie in the first season, but this bitch that showed up in the second season, like, don't get me wrong, the actress that plays Cassie is doing a fantastic job at playing Cassie, but who is this bitch? Who is she? Like, why is she making the decision she's making in season 2? Anyway, again, my like for this character went a little bit down because of the decisions that was made on the character's behalf, but I am super impressed with the actress's portrayal of this character. So for this book, I've went with pick an emotional main character, and I'm gonna go with Snot Girl. I'm gonna go with Lottie from Snot Girl. This is a graphic novel series that I fastly became very interested in as I read, and I feel like Lottie and Cassie have a lot in common. They're very pretty girls, and like, obviously this is not something that even matters, but they're like the same. So like, if you look here, you have Lottie, and I feel like this is a very pastel Cassie look, and even on the cover I just feel like they go together in my mind for some strange reason, and I don't know why. Maybe it's like the doe-eyed look, because Cassie has very doe-like eyes. The reason that I picked Lottie for Cassie is because they both care so much about what other people think. Cassie is very emotional and what's the word I'm looking for? She's very emotional, and she goes off of her gut a lot rather than her head, and I feel like Lottie does the same thing. And there's like this kind of insecurity that comes off on Cassie's character as well as Lottie's character, even though they're both very beautiful women and they have like a really nice life. I feel like the insecurity really soaks into their character, and you see that become or overcome them, and I just like the kind of symbolism these characters give each other. I feel like Cassie could very well be an emotional character that in this graphic novel series, Lottie is a social media star. She has people watching her all the time, but she also deals with allergies that she has to take tablets for to control, and she sees this as a weakness, and I very much see Cassie in the same light, not so much with allergies, but with emotional trauma, I guess. Yeah, so like these two just go really well in my head. Also highly recommend this graphic novel series, it's really good, and I love the artwork in this as well. Then we have Nate Jacobs, the villain of this series. I don't like Nate Jacobs, and I don't think anyone does, to be fair. Like, I've never heard anyone say they like Nate. And for this, I went with a book with anger, simply because Nate Jacobs is angry. Like, I know that some of it is based on trauma, and some of it is probably based on the fact that he hasn't come to terms with his own sexuality and his own place in the world, but he has a hell of a lot of anger, and I feel like the book that I want to represent that is Fallen Away by Penelope Douglas. Even though Jackson is actually a likable character, he is no Nate Jacobs, let me just make that very clear. This book deals with a lot of anger due to their childhood trauma and what they've went through and coming together and someone reflecting that to them, and I feel like for Nate doesn't have that reflection yet. Maddie is such a strong character in and of herself that she doesn't really need to tell Nate like he's troubled, because Nate already knows, and Maddie can do so much better than Nate anyway. And like, I just feel like the anger that comes off of Nate comes off in this book too, with the childhood trauma and like trying to figure out where you fit in the world and what you want your life to look like. Nate's not exactly there yet. I would say Jax and Casey are like a step ahead of Nate in that like kind of race, but I do feel like that's where Nate's storyline could go, is the realization of a lot of past events that have happened to shape him into who he is and how he can reflect and be a better person. Is that too hopeful? Oh my god, like, is a redemption arc for Nate Jacobs like totally out of the question? Oh, I don't know. But anyways, a book that has anger is this book, and a character that has anger is Nate Jacobs. Then we have one of my personal favourite characters, Fezco, and I need season 3. I fucking need season 3, okay? Like, done me dirty on this one. But I feel like everyone really enjoys Fez. Fez is a lovable drug dealing idiot that is smart in certain circumstances and kind of takes you by surprise. He's not exactly what you expect. I feel like the perfect question for this was a book that has heart, and for this I went with House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. This book has so much heart. Not only does the main character Bryce Quinlan have so much heart and so much love to give, there is also so many characters in here that just fight for what they believe in and who and what they love. And even though there's some morally grey characters in here, not all of them are the perfect kind of person. Like Bryce is a party girl and Hunt was ex-rebel leader. Like, they have flaws, but given that they have these flaws, they have no lacking of heart. This book has no lacking of heart. This actually destroyed my heart in the last like 100 pages, and I feel like with Fez, like with season 3 broke my heart, and with Fez he just has so much heart, even though he's not the perfect person, which doesn't fucking exist. But yeah, like, they both have heart, they're both adorable, they're both, you need to read this, you need to watch Euphoria, if only simply for Fez. You know, and Rue and Jules and Cassie and just everyone, just watch Euphoria. Watch Euphoria. Then we have Lexi, and for this I love Lexi. I feel like Lexi was very overlooked, and that's a shame because Lexi's lovely and I do love her character. For this I decided to go with name a book with a character that has a promising future, and for this I went with Eliza and Her Monsters. Eliza is an artist and very creative, even though she struggles with anxiety and being in the background quite a lot. I feel like Lexi is an artist, a writer, and struggles with being in the background and being kind of the outcast of the group, and I feel like they are very promising people. Eliza with her art, Lexi with her writing, they are bigger than the worlds that they're in, if that makes any sense. Like, Lexi is bigger than what she's doing in high school and feeling like the outcast in her group of friends, and Eliza is more than her anxiety and more than her actual real life, because she is this big artist. And I feel like these two characters just have such promising futures with their respective art, and I have so much respect for Lexi because Lexi's play, just perfection. And I feel like Eliza would be the first one in the front row seats cheering Lexi on, even through her anxiety. She would be like drawing some of the play scenes and giving them to Lexi as like congratulations. And I just think these two characters would get along so fucking well. Then we have Kat Fernandez, and I really enjoyed Kat in the first season, but I feel like in the second season she's very much getting shoved to the side. I don't know if that's because she's having creative problems with the director or the writer or something. I read somewhere, could be total bullshit. But I do think that her scenes went dramatically down in the second season, and that's unfortunate because I really enjoy actually having like body confident plus size character in a show, and it's not about her coming to terms with her body, it's more about her owning her body, and that's just fantastic to see. So for this I went with a character that is confident, and I don't care if it's fake or real confidence, just confidence in general. And for this I went with The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta, I believe. This book breathes confidence. It follows a character who is starting to figure out that he likes to do drag, and he is finding his confidence as a performer and as an artist, and just this goes so well with Kat, who is finding her confidence in being a cam girl, essentially. She's finding that she likes this darker side of her that she is growing into, and finding that confidence there, not only in her body but in her personality, and she's taking control of who she wants to be and who she is. And I feel like in The Black Flamingo, that's exactly what happens. The main character starts taking this confidence and eating it up and just becoming spectacularly them. And I feel like these two characters together would put on a hell of a show. I feel like they'd be sharing like a feather boa as they walk on stage, and like, yeah, like I just feel like these two characters would have a hell of a lot in common and they would get along so well. So that is the answer for Cat. And the final question is All For Us, which is the song by Labrinth and Zendaya. It is also the song on repeat on my playlist for the last month, I believe. And for this, I went with a book about family, or a book with family. I just think that this song totally encapsulates the whole cast of Euphoria, and I just love what Labrinth and Zendaya done with this soundtrack. Like, I have the whole soundtrack on my playlist. I enjoy it so very much. It is brilliantly done. So for this book, I decided to go with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I don't have it on me because I've lent it out to a family member because it's just that wonderful. The reason I went for this is because The Hate You Give follows such a close-knit community, and it doesn't even have to be blood family. This book follows a girl named Star who is speaking out against brutality. One of her friends ends up dead, shot by a white cop, and this is a black young boy, and she is speaking out about the injustice of it all, speaking out for her friend. And not only do you see her community come together and fight for what is right and to be a family, you see her actual family struggles. And I just feel like this book totally encapsulates the word family, and I just think that the song All For Us and this book go together so well. Maybe I'll do like my putting books to songs on my playlist, but if I was to do that video, these would go together so well. And I urge you, if you have read The Hate You Give, to listen to All For Us with this in mind, and let me know in the comments if you think the same as me. And that is all I have for you today. That is the Euphoria version 2 book tag. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, the original will be linked down below, but if you do want to answer any of these questions, they will be in the description box so you can easily answer them. Please tag me or let me know if you do this. I'm going to tag my best friend Seffi over at What Effie Reads because they're currently watching Euphoria right now, so by the time they do the tag, they will probably have been finished it, and I'm so excited to see their answers on this tag. So yeah, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, hit the bell and the like button if you are interested to see more of my content, and I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend whenever you're watching this. I challenge you to go do your most glamorous makeup look and dress in something that makes you feel spectacular and be the baddest, most euphoric version of your badass self. Please stay safe, happy and healthy, and I shall see you next time. Bye.